So I got COVID, y'all. I have it right now. I was pretty sure I had it. You know, I woke up with all the symptoms. My throat was sore. I was coughing. Started speaking a different language. I couldn't smell out of my dick. You know, so shit was pretty weird. When I got tested, turns out I wasn't just sure. I was COVID-19 positive. And I've been holding on to that joke for almost a year now, waiting to say it. God damn it. Finally glad I can say it. I'm fine. I will be okay. Okay? I'm feeling all right. I'm not feeling bad. Got a little cough. Ain't nothing bad, man. I mean, I know a lot of people have had it worse, but I hope this is just the extent of it. I hope it don't get much worse than this. I hope this is just where it stays at. Because you know what? I don't mind being locked in my house for a week and a half. Because that means I can just get shit done, son. It means I get to do more podcasting. You know what? I enjoy doing it. I'm glad y'all are here. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Talks with TVBOO, y'all. Happy Thursday. It's almost the weekend. Shit, every day is going to feel like a weekend for me while I'm here. But fuck it. But fuck it. But fuck it. But fuck it. I don't know. But my guest this week, dude, is a fucking legend. Before I introduce my guest, I gotta say, my new song, Drugs, is out now on Wakan. It's a collaboration with Champa. It's an awesome track, y'all. Go check it out. Glad to finally get it out. But my guest this week, dude, is somebody who I'm a massive fan for. I have so much respect for. You know what I'm saying? Grammy winning, Grammy nominating, you know, working with people who I admire, like Diplo and fucking Dylan Francis, and getting to work with pop singers, making bangers left and right, making dope house music, dope side projects. This man does it all. And he's interesting as fuck. And he's a nice-ass guy. He seems like a really good guy. I really did enjoy this conversation. You know, I feel like what you see is what you get with this guy, and he just seems, you see a good guy. And I feel like that's just who he is. So I'm just going to let the episode get going. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nitti Gritti.
Come here, girl, is that ass fat? Let me take my tongue and go around your dirt track. I met a girl and her booty tastes like strawberries. I swear to God, this could be the one that I marry. Hey, hey, and she's so different. I need that from behind. I met a girl and her booty tastes like strawberries.
What's up, man? And the name's Mitch, dude. I don't know if what's your name, though?
My name is Ricky, bro. You can call me Ricky for sure.
Ricky, dude. All right, Ricky, man. It's nice. It's nice to formally meet you, man. I'm a big fan. Have been for a long time. I love your whole grind, dude. You have your hand in so many different things. You know, wanted to talk about all that. You know, want to talk about the things you've been doing lately. Before I even do any of that, I just want to thank you for coming on the show, man. It's awesome to be able to sit down and talk to you.
Yeah, 100%, man. Likewise, I aside from, you know, enjoying your music, I find this whole like type of thing like really, really fun, man. You're funny and you like hang out with all these people. I want to do this eventually. It's just like, as you know, a lot of work and I was streaming and stuff, but this is the type of shit I can't wait to do. Just like podcasts and actually like interacting with other musicians and stuff is super fun.
Yeah, it has been fun, man. But I mean, yeah, just from like the outside looking in, you look like a guy who's not afraid of a little bit more work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dude,
no,
so
I mean,
no, you go ahead, man. I totally interrupted you, man.
No, it's all good. Go ahead.
I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. You know what I'm saying? I like doing that in public when I fuck up, just like saying I'm stupid. I forgot what movie I got that from, but dude, yeah, it's funny just getting the reactions from everybody, seeing what happens. And if I cough during this a bunch, I apologize. I have COVID. I found it out yesterday. I'm fine.
Oh, you really got it?
Yeah, I found out yesterday I have it. I'm fine. I'm not really showing that many symptoms. I just got a little cough. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, and that ain't going to stop me. That ain't going to stop me from doing this today because I was looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you. We've been rescheduling, so I appreciate you having me, man.
Well, dude, I mean, there's so many things I want to get into with you today because you're a guy who has his hands in just so many different avenues inside of the music industry, whether it's being just a straight dubstep guy, which I mean, you do sometimes, where if you're this pretty melodic guy, you have house shit going on, you produce for pop artists, you
Yeah.
work with other big producers. So, my thing, basically, where I'm trying to get is how are you able to branch out to doing things like pop and working with like all these different singers and all these pop producers and stuff like that, just being a producer, like a team of producers, because a lot of electronic guys and dubstep guys, whether they're making house dubstep or future bass, whatever it may be, that's usually what they stay in. And I'm just trying to figure out how it is you got your hand in these situations, and what did to just prove yourself and all that jazz.
Um, it so like ironically, I didn't even make electronic music, or did I? Okay. So like literally back to the beginning. Okay, I found like Skrillex stuff, but I was in bands. But then when I started producing, it was like yeah, like horrible rip off dubstep. But then honestly, I got more back into like making just music and producing little demos and stuff like that. And then I would try and make certain like genres in like progressive house was big, melodic dubstep was big, like the old wave, not like the new wave of it, like which is both amazing, but there was like that first Seven Lines wave where I got really into it. And so during that whole time I was doing like Pitbull remixes or like just random stuff anyways just to do it. And from the beginning I was producing for like you know small artists that were just friends in Florida. Because that's pretty much where I started my music career is Florida because I moved here for college. And by the time I had like gone to a studio, I was making like hip hop beats, like shitty though, horrible. Like everything was just bad. It was low level, but I was doing the same thing I'm doing now. It's just now I'm finally good at it. So like,
Yeah.
I actually have been doing that from the very beginning. I didn't actually just make dubstep, make trap, make thing, and just sit there doing all these crazy samples and sound design. I was actually like, today I'm gonna try and make a crappy rap beat, and today's gonna be crappy dubstep, and then it all became decent dubstep and decent hip hop, and now it's like good dubstep and good, everything's at least on a good level. So it's like I kind of did it from the beginning like that, and each level built up with itself because I guess like the way it works is for me is one thing will build the other up. So like I will do a track with say a remix for Seven Lions. That one gave me, this song that had a million plays on SoundCloud to send to somebody like, or for somebody to see like DJ Mustard. And then Mustard hit me up and he had all these hip hop beats at the time, but wanted me to do remixes. Then we did Beyonce and a Jack U remix or Beyonce and something remix. And then because I had that, then I went back to here and I said, hey, I've worked with this guy and did this. And then it's just been building on each other. So like I use the dubstep and the trap stuff to get to the pop, and I use the pop stuff back and forth. So they kind of just like build off of each other where like I have a really good team. I have two managers, and my first manager that I had before my second one basically helped, just solidify my mind is I like to do kind of all of it in an organized fashion, one at a time. Obviously, I don't like try and overkill myself, but I focus on something for a little bit, then I move on, and I just go back and forth. And my creativity, like, I don't know, like works way better for me like that. Like right now I'm on this like kick of like making like this like rock project for myself. But in the meantime, I was sending demos to uh um like an acoustic singer, Ed Sheeran type person last night. And I
Yeah.
just make a couple loops and then go back to what I was on. And then like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was like making house for Side Piece because we have like, new releases coming out and we had these sessions on Zoom and stuff. And then the next day I'll just try and mix it up. But if I, it's kind of like it helps me to stick to staying creative. I never get really like any ruts where people get writer's block. If I get a writer's block, I just move on because I might have it in dubstep, but I'm not going to have it in every genre.
Yeah.
Like just because you're not doing good pop doesn't mean you can't go make good hip hop stuff.
Yep.
So if I suck at this today and I'm not good at it, I just I put that same energy somewhere else because it's not happening today for this. So it's like to me that's what made I'm staring at I have this like whiteboard of all these songs I'm going to release, and it's like that one's future bass, that one's heavy dubstep, that one's house, and I just do those by myself to or not by myself, like these are collabs, but I mean, I do those in my head to balance out each other. And
Yeah.
after, 8 years, they all end up sounding good. So like people find it difficult, I think, to change genres. You're going to do the same thing I did. You're going to suck at it. My house music wasn't good. My dubstep wasn't good. My pop wasn't good. And then slowly I focused on every single one of them a little bit at a time. And at least, now I don't think I'm the best dubstep producer. I don't think I'm the best pop producer. I don't think I'm the blah, blah, blah. But overall, my goal is to be the most well-rounded. So I can I want to win producer of the year at the Grammys. Like that's one of my all-time goals, is like the most well-rounded, hard, like in a shell like this, you know what I mean? Where like it'll finally hopefully get to a point where I am at the top, at least competing with the best. So I don't really need to be number one in each of those genres, but I want to be like the top 5 in all those, so that it kind of encircles this thing. Plus I honestly just enjoy it.
Yeah.
So maybe I can't help it because I just want to do it because I enjoy doing it. But I think that's about the clearest way to describe why I do all those things. And, but looking back, I'm glad I did it because it looked not, I don't know, I'm sure you can tell I'm probably explaining one of these questions, but the difficulties of that also suck because it took me way longer, and it's still taking me longer to get people to understand that.
Yep.
So I might just look like a little, trap dubstep house DJ to most people, and telling the rest of that story is tough. And now at least I have side piece to prove like, oh, look, I can do a whole project on tech house, and I love house music. That's one of my first loves in electronic music. I want to do something with rock same way, where I just want to keep, showing to the public, oh, I enjoy this, I enjoy these. Slowly do the branding, you know what I mean? It takes a little bit to catch up, I guess.
No, for sure, man. You probably have no idea how much other producers needed to hear that. Whenever you have a block, you don't get in a rut because you just go try something new, man. That was something that I found out like in the last year and a half or something like that. I was just strictly making bass music, but then I started making hip hop beats, and then the end of last year I made a comedy album where it's just like a musical comedy thing. But it's like it had like
So
rock,
sick.
pop, hip hop, metal, country. It had all of it on it. And I never hit a rut because I'm trying all this new shit. And then I could go back to my bass music stuff. And that's when it all really clicked. I'm like, oh, fuck, man. The only reason I'm getting stuck on certain things is because I'm trying to make a certain thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm focusing just on one thing where I could just be focusing on being creative, having fun, trying new shit, getting better at, recording or processing vocals, little things like that, man. So you have no idea how many people need to hear that shit, because I tell people like that all the time when they tell me that they're in a rut. I'm like, that's just because you trying to stick to one thing.
Yeah, it's like a flow. Like, what is this like a no bars hold? Like we talk about whatever the fuck type of stuff.
Dude,
right?
say
Doesn't
whatever
matter.
the fuck you want. Smoke meth, hell,
Okay,
Satan, okay?
Yeah, so well, no, I mean, I'm not even like that. I'm
know,
a
I'm
church
just-
goer. It's not really dirty like that, but I'm just curious
All right, dude,
what I could say.
praise the Lord then. Let's keep it going.
We'll see. No, but basically, I would say it's a good story for a podcast. Like, I've really never done any drugs, and not that it should be surprising, but most people just have this thing. Oh, all DJs, especially electronic music, smoke weed and do all this shit. I've only smoked weed like 3 times, and I had never done any drug until I went on this RV trip during Corona. Me and my boys just went on an RV trip.
And now something
And
I
I
was
did,
wanting to talk to you about too was this RV trip.
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
so many questions.
It's coming out soon, so we can talk about it anyways. But
Sure.
On that trip, I did shrooms because that was like the one I kind of researched and talked to people about. And I did shrooms, and I was like, okay, so let me just see how this one is, because I just want to like kind of experience in a crazy time, going in there for a reason. I wasn't just doing it for any other reason except I'm on an RV trip. I was in the Joshua Tree in the desert, pretty much in LA, and all that to say, like when I tripped and I've done it 3 or 4 times since then, and I've learned that helped me to understand how I do that musically is I just kind of go with the flow. So like when I did the first trip, it was a little more powerful. So like I've kind of died down because I'm not really like that. I can't do heavy stuff.
Yeah.
So the first time it was like a little stronger for me. And I was like trying to fight it because I was like, dude, I'm not used to this. Like I'm going crazy, like not crazy, but it was like a rough beginning of the trip for me. And then slowly as it came down a little bit, I started like, all right, I have to just go with the waves. If I'm laughing, I got to keep in that laughing mood. I can't go do this type of mood and trippy mood if I'm in the laughing wave. And then the next wave would be like the trippy wave where we're all looking at shit and it's kind of like, you know, messing with your head. And then I would go into that. And so like I learned that. And it's funny you say like, you know, you're not going to get in a rut if you just let that flow with how you're thinking musically. Because if know for a fact I really want to be a Drake style person today, and somebody tells me you have a dubstep tune due tonight, there's no way I can't do the dubstep tune. I'm in the mood to make something that sounds like Drake with Travis Scott. How the fuck am I going to transfer? Like, it's going to be tough. So like, you know, there's obviously exceptions. You're going to have to, like, if you have a deadline, you got to do it. I'm not saying not to do that, but most of the time for us producers, we have a life, you know, even if you have day jobs, still aside from the day job, when you get home, you have freedom to do that. So kind of let yourself go with the flow, I'd say, is the best like example.
Yeah, dude. So on the mushroom thing, man. So I took a strong break for like 4 or 5 years from doing any psychedelics and got back into doing them. Just like, you know, almost like not like just for fun purposes, but for like medical, like not medical, but just like I guess spiritual reasons. You know what I mean? During COVID is whenever I started it back. And
yeah, I feel like everybody tried everything.
Yeah,
during COVID.
And so I felt like after I got done with shrooms, like after that, I hated the actual tripping part of it because I felt like there would be like an hour of where I'm just freaking out and I don't want to talk to anybody, and then after that I'm good, like I'm laughing, and I felt like my favorite part of doing that psychedelic is whenever it's done, I feel like everything's a lot clearer. I know what I have to do in life. I know where I'm lacking. I know, you know, what's the next step. Was that one of the reasons you were doing it? And did you have that type of experience after you did mushrooms?
A lot of people told me to go into it like that, and it was good advice. I'm a pretty, I don't want to act like that's really the main reason. I kind of just like, it's my first time doing any drug. Yeah. This should be the first one. Let me try it. And now I kind of use it recreationally. I wouldn't say that I don't even remember, cause like there's some in my fridge and I don't even remember how much I take, but it's like, dude, it's like not even not even a gram, like way less than like for to feel it. So like mine is recreational. It's like I get tipsy on shrooms and I laugh. So like when I did that first one, it was a bit too intense for me. I wasn't a huge fan. There was some stuff that I was thinking about and understanding, but I'm kind of always in my life, you know, spiritually thinking and praying about things that are getting guidance. So I do that in my own way, which is more towards, you know, God. I do that. So I don't necessarily think of drugs as it, but I just consider it a recreational thing. I'd say that I did it, you know, I don't feel like it's wrong, to be honest, for, you know, me to have enjoyed that in a sense. You know, if you're getting addicted to anything, that's where I think your limit and balance should be set. But I guess a lot of people have told me that they've found a lot of truth and it's opened their eyes. But I guess it's been tough for me to want to go that extreme again because it was just a lot on my mind. So
and you already have like
more recreational.
You already have like that spiritual balance too, and that was another thing that I liked about you. You know, you're really open about like your faith and stuff like that. And me, man, I feel like for the longest time I was just kind of anti any of that, and I think like in the last like 2 years, I've really turned around to where like sometimes I'll catch myself like praying, and I don't know if I'm praying necessarily to like a Jesus Christ or anything like that, but I just feel like there's something else. And I feel like many times I feel blessed, and I'm like that, you know, there's something helping me be this blessed or something, you know, watching over me. And I don't necessarily know what it is, and I'm still trying to figure that out. But I have been a lot more open to stuff like that, you know what I mean, and all that jazz. So,
how old are you?
I'm 25.
You're 25. Yeah, I'm 26. Yeah, I think that the gratefulness and contentedness, especially for people like us that are, you know, I'm not saying like A-list, but, you know, semi-successful musicians in a sense. We make money and we can live our life with it, whether or not we have extra income. I'm just saying we get to do this in a spotlight and we enjoy it. That comes with gratefulness. Yeah, I think most people either, you know, ignore that and then start to be arrogant and cocky, and because it gets the other side of it. And the one side is, you know, you feel good and you're happy and you want to like do something about it and tell people I'm grateful, or you just like go deeper into your hole of I'm amazing and everyone tells me I'm amazing every day. Yeah. So like I'd say it's like a good sign that, you know, exactly, you don't have to know who you're praying to in the beginning. It's the same thing as like you don't know like the back to the music thing, you don't really know what song you're gonna make except you're in this mood to make this style. So like you could, react to it the same way. Where like I don't know why I'm feeling grateful, but let that out. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm a big like manifestation type of like, not like I don't know, like I'm still like faith based, so I wouldn't say I'm like energy type of what I'm talking about. I don't know what the difference is, and like, oh, I'm a manifesting and I believe in energies. That's not. I'm definitely believe in God, but I do believe in saying things that will come true and putting them out there very firmly. I've done that multiple times, or dreams, visions, all that stuff. Like, dude, if you pay attention, my manager is like super in tune. Actually, both of them are very in tune, but my manager Cheryl is she's a grandmother, so she's lived her life, but now she's managing artists, and she's so in tune that same as you. She tells me the same thing. I'm one of the few people that have ever talked about God in front of her, and she's just very intuitive. And since we've known each other for years now, we're pretty much family. Her stuff rubs off on me and mine on her, and her intuition has rubbed off on me in a sense where I get it. And I feel like I've proven to her that it is a spiritual and a godly thing, that we are given those gifts. Yeah. So like whether or not, you don't have to believe it's Jesus or Buddha, but whoever that you guys are going to end up believing, I definitely think it's a gift that like everybody has that type of thing where you can be, manifesting and being intuitive. And I guess to give an example, if I'm talking so much crap that doesn't make sense, to give a very direct example, like me saying out loud, I'm going to win the Grammy for Best Dance Recording this year. Like I've been saying that and been like, if it doesn't happen, that's okay. But I've just been that energy. I've been like, yo, I'm going to win this Grammy. I'm going to win this Grammy. It's not going to make or break my life. So I'm not like depending on it. I just want to get it out there that, yo, I'm going to win this Grammy. And like, hopefully next week, and you air this, like I've won that thing, and it's going to kind of like be a part of that. But if not, it's still okay. I don't know. I'm very big into those types of things and paying attention to like, oh, why did this happen? It wasn't a coincidence. The fact that Nitti Gritti did this, we did the song side piece, adding things up. I'm just very big proponent to those things. I think it helps, and paying attention, like you said, like gratefulness and being happy about that. That's the literal start of it. Of you're going to like notice like, oh, the person that helped me at this time in my life, now their son did this, or I don't know, just things start connecting to a point where you can't ignore it anymore. And you're like, it's just truth. Like I'm not crazy. There's something out there is helping us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where you're like, this isn't just a coincidence. But I do like what you said about manifesting, man. I did the same thing, but I have this goal board in my room. You said you had a whiteboard with your songs. Mm-hmm. I have a goal board where it's like, I'm going to do this by this time. I'm going to make it like this. So, manifesting, I think either saying a goal or having like a goal where you can see it every day, where it's something that you write out. It's something that you put into the universe, to where it's like, okay, I've said it, now I got to do it. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's people who think that, hey, I want to do that, I want to do that. But the power of just saying something or writing it down where you can see it every day, that shit's just so powerful, and it's a motivator, because then you really believe it. It's out in the universe, then you believe it. And if nothing's going to happen, you have to believe it first before you can make other people believe it.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been like the project I told you about that's like kind of rock based is something I've been like super excited. I've been like watching all these documentaries, like Billie Eilish, or just like all these newer ones that I was curious about. And I started like being honest with myself, like, wow, but during my DJ and producer life in electronic music, I'm going to be working on this so hard that I want it to be bigger than anything I'm a part of right now. Like I'm looking toward that to be like, this was Nitti Gritti. Holy shit, that's a whole nother level. Like I'm thinking that I want something bigger than this. And it's like, it's been really refreshing, and actually, and ironically, it sounds like I would be giving up on Nitti, but it's actually helping me do better on making music for that as well, because I'm so like, I guess, excited right now about these things. So it's like, they're kind of all building each other up, where I'm just like, all right, I really want to get to this, but I got to make this one work first. So let me make Nitti Gritti as banging as possible, the biggest cap I can do for this style genre, and then move on. Cause it's like, I don't want to like force it, but it's like, it's been fun to like start dreaming again. I'm basically dreaming about stuff that I used to. When I wasn't a DJ, I used to dream about headlining fest, doing what I'm doing now. And now I'm like, I've lost that childish dreaming thing. And
Yeah.
dude, the last week I've been like, same thing, like right back. Like, I don't know. I was like tweeting the other day about how like I want to be hungry. Like I have like no followers again. Cause I like during quarantine, I got, I don't know, just like a little lazy. And then I remembered on tour, I was just like getting used to it. Play a
Yeah.
show every weekend, play a festival every weekend. And I like kind of got numb to it. And then since we haven't had shows in so long, I've been like hungry again. Like, damn, bro, I want to get out there. I want to get stuff going. I want to be,
Back better
you
than
know,
ever.
yeah, exactly. So it's been fun to kind of get that back and like, I don't know, those dreams that you have. Most people that are up and coming have them right now, so it's
Yeah.
good. But once you go through a little bit of success, it's hard to have it the whole time. So I feel like I'm rebuilding it.
Yeah, no, I love that, man. So let me ask you this: like, what this rock project that you're talking about, even with stuff like Side Piece, why? Because I know Side Piece is a duo. So
Yep.
why wouldn't it be this rock project under the Nitty Gritty project, or why wouldn't a Side Piece be Nitty Gritty and that other artist and stuff like that? Because I'm kind of running into the same. I won't say like issue, but something that me and my management team are trying to figure out is how the hell are we going to put this comedy album that has no electronic music out as taboo? You know what I'm saying? Is this even taboo? And that's what maybe that's like a realization you had when you're doing this, or is it just a totally different thing for you? Or did you ever have this idea of like, why not do this as Nitty Gritty? Because at the end of the day, it's us who decides what music we put out. And you have done a great job with not pigeonholing yourself to just a style of music that you can create, because you've put out a rock EP out as Nitty Gritty. You've put out dubstep, pop, hip hop, all that jazz. And so why wouldn't you just continue that as Nitty Gritty? And my tone at the end of that question didn't sound like a question. Why would you do an as Nitty Gritty? That's weird.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. I'm literally in that struggle with you right now, but I could say with like 75% insurance, I guess, on it is that I'm going to separate. The main reason is because I learned from doing Side Piece basically. So we made Side Piece and we took the risk, both of us. And Party Favor actually had a great point when we first started, because I was like, I kind of knew when I had On My Mind, it was a big record. So I did it with Diplo, and like I made the track, and then Diplo found this crazy vocal sample, and we had it just lying around like a demo. And that was like 3 years ago, like I went to Bali with him for like a writing camp.
Yeah.
And
A writing
so
camp.
I had that.
I want to talk about that in a second, but continue the story.
Yeah, we could get into those.
Yeah, but
Yeah, for
continue
sure.
the story, yeah.
A lot of fun writing camp stories. So like essentially I showed Dylan some of my tech house, like not Nitty Gritty house, like, weird wonky stuff. That I reserve that for Nitty Gritty. I had this project that's like, Fisher and Chris Lake. It's not going to be in the bass world at all. And so I was like, I know how these people are. They're very specific and picky. Like, it's not a good idea to jump into that. So I already had the idea. And then Dylan said the same thing, but he showed me identical styles. Our next record is like 3 years ago that he showed it to me. And that was the day we showed each other a couple songs, On My Mind and Temptation, where's one of them. Temptation comes out next. And we both were like, dude, why don't we just make a side project? That's like, I wanted to call it Side Project as a joke, like side project. It's our side project. And then he said, what about Side Piece? And I was like, oh shit, that's genius.
Sounds cool.
And then that we took the risk to, all right, let's restart. Even though we both have, thousands of followers, let's see what happens if we restart. And lo and behold, because people didn't realize it was us from the beginning, there was no preconceived, conception. And by that, no misconceptions. So nobody was caring that it was tech house. It's that it was good music, and people that liked that music liked it. End of story. No rebuttals. No, I missed the old Kanye, fucking this Kanye, this, that, there's none of that. It was great. Then we put out On My Mind, obviously, with a huge artist, Diplo. And because people know him, but not us, all it did was just blow us up, essentially, to a level not even as big as Nitty Gritty or Party Favor at the time. But now, because even though I feel like it has less followers and stuff, it has this momentum that is just, so different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's underdog momentum. It's like I always use this example of like, in football, you don't throw the ball where the player is because they're moving. You have to throw it in front of them.
Yeah.
So right now it might look like side pieces back here, but we're basically a wide receiver about to hit a touchdown and the ball's just in the air. So we're basically just going to meet each other there.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hopefully going around all this other stuff that we're doing. But that to me is the best example of why restarting can be amazing. And trust me, I was a huge believer that I was like, I'm going to do everything under Nitti when I was younger. And like, I kind of learned to accept that I enjoy, and I still kind of do it with Nitti just to like do it. Cause like you said, even though it's electronic, I try and do as much as like, I treat Nitti Gritti as like the funnest shit I'll ever do. I'll never have any more fun than doing Nitti Gritti because there's no rules, bro. I literally just put, like you said, I have done rock stuff. You know what I mean? I do joke shit. I do stupid edits. Like I don't really care in a good way. I don't care.
Yeah.
But when it comes to something like Side Piece or this other rock project, which is very different than what I've already released, I treat both of these like a whole, like the rock one I've been thinking of. I have like a whole, basically, like I have a whole music video done already. I have all these like outfits lined up and all these things where I have these like, styles and things in my head, like this, like James Bond meets James Dean meets fucking The Killers, just this whole idea in my head that I want it to be straight down the middle, one thing and one thing only on purpose. And to relate it to you, if you're a comedy thing that you have this full vision for it and like you're a funny dude, so it kind of makes sense to me, even though it's close to taboo and you've like hinted at it, same thing as me. I had done that Little Rock EP. I hinted that I can do this, but it never really took off. It was just a little tester. And now I'm still Nitti Gritti, the dubstep trap house future bass guy, right? So probably similar thing for you. Like people know about this, but if you were to restart, as much as your fans will know it's you, there'll be a whole new crowd, in my opinion, that catch on, but they have no. It's just
Oh shit. No
on
shit.
how much you care about the unbiased opinion.
Yeah. Nah, you broke up for a second there, but I think I got most of everything that you were saying. Yeah, and all that makes fucking damn good sense. I guess that sometimes I just don't like the idea of being pigeonholed. It's just like, I feel like if I can't put out a record that's just completely different from myself, like from what I've always done, it's like then it's just like, this is the style that I'll always have to make. That's like a fear of it. You know what I mean? Like, and then but then I'll also look at people who did try something different. It didn't work. Like when that whole shit with Getter. You know what I mean? Like that shit was also a good example. And so I guess like sometimes I just get nervous about just getting a little pigeonholed and where it's like, oh wow, this is like the only style I can put out as taboo.
But there's actually good. So I know what you're saying with like his like rap stuff, like what's it called? I know what you're talking about. Like it's actually really dope music, but I guess it's
I'm not talking about his rap stuff. I'm talking about his.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was his album, Versatile or.
Oh, Visceral. Oh yeah. Oh, you just mean people hating on it because it's not the same style of music, right? So I had a good point for this. So that's obviously an example. And as much as it's been hated, I do know a lot of people that are new. You get new fans, new waves, same thing. But Porter Robinson is the best example ever of a switch up, bro. I think people forget Porter was literally electro house.
Yep.
Like, the corniest electro house. Like, I'm kidding. It wasn't actually. It was amazing at the time, but it wasn't like anything like what he did. And nobody even, people just like are fine with it. And so you're able. So like to me, I think you might be having a harder decision because you could pivot by doing some funny stuff like that and people could thoroughly enjoy it, because I feel like your stuff like this, your podcast, you're always joking around, like your content's already funny. So like it might match better than you think, versus I was honest with myself, and the rock stuff that I did under Nitti Gritti that I have released is not the same, and nothing, the whole vibe of the other project that I'm making now is just, I had to be honest with myself. I was like, no, this has to be its own thing. Like I kind of decided it for myself.
Yeah.
So I think if you want to make it work, you can, and be like, fuck it. Taboo is going to be the funniest DJ alive. I'm going to literally drop Weird Al Yankovic type shit. and then drop Excision type shit, and then drop, my shit, and then drop how, whatever you want to do, you can still have that open, I think.
Yeah, that's true, man. But yeah, enough with all that, dude. Because there was something that you mentioned. You said that the writing camps that I do want to talk about, but Diplo was something that I actually did want to bring up because he's a guy that you've worked with a good bit. I feel like I don't want to say he's taking you under his wing because you were doing your fucking thing, but I feel like he kind of branched. Introduced you to a lot of people and got your name out there a little bit more.
Yeah,
How did you get linked up with the Diplo guy? And I said the Diplo guy with the Diplos. You know what I mean?
Diplo guy.
How'd that relationship, come to be? And what's the relationship like now, just today? Are y'all constantly working together? Y'all constantly talking? Y'all friends? Is it all business? How'd that all get together?
Yeah. So I sent him an email like 3 years ago. I don't even remember. Oh, this is actually even funnier. I remember I was talking about like the manifestation and the intuition type of stuff.
Yep.
I've had a couple dreams. One, I've had a dream with like Justin Bieber where I'm like homies with him for some reason. That was like a while ago. And around that same time, I had like a dream that I was like boys with Diplo, like just like, yeah, what's up, dude? Like just like that. So it's like really funny that looking back and remembering that's exactly what happened. Weirdly enough, is like I can go to his house and just like, yo, what's up? Works. She's like, oh, we're like, I don't know, go fucking ride a bike through the hills in LA or, do random shit or the writing camps. So back to the beginning is I sent an email of like edits. So like Lights Bootleg, and all those ones that did well for me in the beginning. I was just like a really big edit dude. Like I would send, I don't know, I would send like 10 edits to everybody. And then Benzie, has all the edits. So he kind of
Live DJ
started doing
service
it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then back in the old days when I came up, you just had to email your edits to people, and then Benzie made it easy and made a whole dope platform. So now I don't really have to do it anymore. But that's kind of how I got in the DMs, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And then from there, he was like, oh, do you want to remix one of my songs? And then I made the remix, but he never released it. And then I followed up and I was like, oh, here's some beats or something. And he was like, oh shit, you made these beats? All right, cool. Well, something. And this is all like long responses. He's not like it wasn't like we were DMing every day. Like, hey man, how are you? How's your mom? What's your last name? Like, it was just like every couple weeks he would just throw me an answer. I'd be like, fuck it, I'll just answer. So over a whole year, basically, of finally like, let's meet up, come show me some music. I go to his house and I don't even meet him. I meet his publishers pretty much.
What?
Then
he said, come to my house, and
he sent me to his house, and I met Juba, who's now he's like, what does Juba do? Fucking like he's a head A&R at like Columbia or something. He's like a big boy dude now, like he's killing it. Not that they weren't already big, but because they were obviously killing it. But when I met them, it was just funny that I met the publishers and they're like, oh, so we're actually really interested in a publishing deal where you pretty much just, co-produce with Wes and whoever he works with. And because in the beginning I was like, oh, EDM, I can be Diplo's big EDM. So it's very funny that I have a million more times benefited from Diplo in pop music than anything else. Almost no EDM except now Side Piece with, On My Mind, but that's years later.
Yeah.
So like the beginning, I was just producing shit. I worked on 2 Major Lazer records on their last album 3 years ago, and I introduced him to Skip Marley, and he was interested in him. So then me and Skip wrote a record, and then I did something with Beam and, some camps like that. So I actually just started writing and, producing pop and hip hop. And then we did the Bad Bunny one. I remember I sent them that beat, and he was like roasting me. He's like, wow, they chose your worst beat or some shit like that, like back in the day. And it's like pretty funny, the ones that they choose. There's a lesson in that. Just because you think it sucks, you could still win a Latin Grammy for it. Yeah. That's literally what happened to me. So one of my worst beats ever is a Grammy-winning song, part of a Grammy-winning album. So whatever, it shit happens.
That's awesome.
So just like a culmination of like over the years getting, and then now after a few of those camps, like, and you're not a weirdo, he'll invite you over and you can like hang out with people, and identical situations have happened with people like Dylan Francis, and we've collabed obviously, and he's like a super like they're all really cool dudes. Like, I don't know, they were so big in electronic music that I think it was like overwhelming to only do electronic music. So they all obviously have pivoted to be doing larger records than just electronic music. So it helped me get in the door by actually not even, they didn't even care. Like, I'm not saying it to like say they don't like EDM, because I'm not trying to drag it or like say that they're dragging it, but honestly, they're not usually excited. You know, there's obviously a banger every now and then that they're like, oh, that's sick. But what really got their attention, I think, from me is that I would just send them beats and send them productions and be able to send a guitar loop to somebody to try and do some Ed Sheeran placement, or try and send something for Bad Bunny, you know, whoever the hell he's working with at the time. So like, those are the things to me that helped me build that side of it. And then after years of some of those things sitting around, you know, you pick up on my mind and say, oh, you know what, let's release this. It's right timing. And that's actually like the first EDM dance song I've ever done with Wes, like that is actually public, and it's not even a Nitti Gritti. So it's funny how that works. Like, I did literally beats and production on pop music, which I actually am very thankful that he kind of took me into that world, because, you know, now there's just things I'm always trying to write and send to people, because, and I have a mindset of, I guess, expanding into other genres and, it, you know, just learning from a lot of dope producers and stuff. So yeah, it's a very interesting situation when I look back at it, how those types of relationships I thought were going to be some way just turned out being like, you know, I was like, oh, he's the biggest trap and twerk guy at the time. And I'm like, wow, I played a country guitar part for him. That's funny. Or like I did a reggaeton beat, or, you know, some random shit. So it's pretty funny how that works.
Yeah, man, it's kind of crazy too, because like that's something that not a lot of people realize is like these really big producers have just a team of producers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where like they may start an idea and pass it on, or vice versa. You may have an idea, pass it on. It's just like a group of dudes. And some people are like, "Oh, that's fucking whack. It's a lot of people." And I'm like, "Hell no, that sounds dope." Like a bunch of like good producers all coming together for like one, you know, final product. It's like that's where you're gonna get the best result. That's where it's just like when there's a lot of minds on certain things. And I don't get the people who are just like, oh no, there's fucking lame. It's a lot of other producers, ghost writers. It's like, nah, it's just you know, a team.
Yeah, it's such a. Ironically, I still have recently. I really only do for like, you know, a small amount of people, but I actually do real ghost production versus this one. It's not, because everybody knows it's co-production, because first of all, I'm not doing everything. So it's definitely not ghost production, because ghost production, the real definition was you pay somebody whatever $1,000 and hush hush, and it's my song. Like that's the original version of it per se.
Is that why you wrote Hush Hush Money?
Oh, you know, kind of a little bit.
Okay.
There's a couple lines in a few songs. Yeah. It's definitely, yeah, it's definitely one of those. I guess when I was younger and I was doing ghost production, but I was like smaller, I felt like I was owed like more, and I had this like, it's hard to, you know, wipe that one off, but obviously I feel a lot differently now that I'm matured. But it was difficult. There was a lot of times where I was like, oh man, I'm ghost producing and I could be bigger, but I'm giving them my dope music. But then I don't know, it doesn't matter. I don't really like focusing on that. I don't like think of it like that. I like going forward, doing it the right way, which is you just credit people.
Yeah.
If somebody gives you a dope hook or a dope beat or a dope thing, you just credit them. It's that simple. Kanye, Drake, everybody, bro, they all do it.
Yeah, I get it, man. And sometimes, yeah, I ghost produce for someone for a little bit, and it can be tough, dude. And because you're like, fuck, this is actually dope. I don't want to give this away. You know what I mean? But like,
yeah.
But like, fuck, I'm gonna take the money, dude. I mean, sometimes it's tough, man. I mean, sometimes I don't want to wake up unless I'm right next to you. You know. And I've been saving that line for this entire podcast. I've been waiting to say that this entire fucking podcast. But yeah,
see,
man.
And that wasn't even me. That's Jimmy. Jimmy wrote that, so I got nothing to do with it.
Right on. I love that track. Man. It's like whenever like I'm around like my sister or like some of her friends, and this might I swear this is a compliment when I say this. It's like they're not big into electronic music or something like that. Said like if I want to gradually introduce them, I'll put on like that song, but like I'll play some Nitty Gritty or something like that, some Hush Hush Money, 1175. You know what I mean? All in. Like I'll play those. They're not into electronic, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is really good." I'm like, "Sick." So
Yeah,
you're like
yeah.
that. You're that artist that I'll turn on for them. Like I don't turn on like things like crack and shit like that because I'll be like, "What the
Yeah, yeah.
fuck?"
You're like, I don't. Who's Murata? What's going on?
Dude, so
Yeah.
all right, fucking dope ass story about the Diplo guy. All right, the Diplos, okay? Because he's a fucking legend. People don't give him the respect he deserves. He's paved the way for so many different genre changes and musical influences. And, you know, him and Skrillex really gapped a lot of the electronic EDM worlds together whenever they worked with Bieber. Like, that wasn't a hit. Like, there wouldn't be a song like that would be a hit record where it had, like, a future bassy type of drop where it had all these influence. So it's like, they really like close that gap. Like I hear people who talk shit about Chainsmokers. I'm like, dude, Chainsmokers are fucking dope because they write like these pop tunes with like these EDM drops. Then you go see them live, they're playing like dubsteps. Like that shit's needed. Like that's just gonna expand the world of EDM and just get it bigger and get more people into it. So I'm all for all.
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. Drew, trust me. Like, yeah, you're speaking to the choir. It's just there's so many things I used to think and battled with that I'm finally like feel like I'm matured enough to like be just happy with the ride and happy with how it all came out, because there's always going to be some bitterness, and I see it in younger artists. I never really made it vocal. I think Twitter is a tough one for me to watch, like up and coming people tweet like they're Michael Jackson after his 4th album. I'm like, oh my God, I want to say something, but like, I get it. Yeah. It's just like, it happens. I had those feelings. I feel like you should be mature enough not to have to say those and clout chase and do all these things, but it's fine. It happens. People want to be, you know, there's talented kids out there that I completely understand. It's like sometimes, you know, because people are technically good, they get something in their head. And that's where I'm right now. I'm in this big battle with myself to like write songs. And I guess the difference, I mean, is like, it doesn't matter if it's stuff. I'm not talking about style too, because you can write a classic, legendary dubstep tune if you want it. It's very difficult, but it's the difference between banger of the week and I Can't Stop. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where I'm like, dude, I don't care what it is. I want to make classics. Like I'm really over not making things that, you know, don't stand the test of time. And I still have tracks in the pipeline that, if I'm being honest, feel a little closer to just getting it out there. But some of them, it's just like, man, I made this. I want to, you know how it is when you have a song, you just want people to hear it. I don't know what it is about being a musician, but it's like, it's difficult. Maybe some people have the opposite problem. I want everybody to hear a lot of my shit. I don't know what it is. It's like, I worked really hard on this. I want you to hear it. So there's like a lot of songs like that, but
yeah,
I'm
but
just
also,
in this.
I interrupted you.
No, go ahead.
I said there's these songs like you do also need those songs. So it's just like, this is just going to be a banger for like 6 months, just so you stay relevant or just stay on top of the game, because you know everything moves so fast in the music industry now, and it's just like, if you're not, you know, putting out content, putting out music, it's like people will forget about you, man. Even if you have that banger, you know what I'm saying? Like fucking Flux couldn't be Flux just on I Can't Stop. You know what I'm saying? He also had to have, you know, his bangers for 6 month bangers or something like that.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's definitely true. I have, this is a cool little tip, I guess, that I've just stumbled across with my manager. We kind of figured this out. Sometimes treating music like content is actually smart if you do it on purpose, because then people might understand and not look at it like, oh, wow, you put out this garbage tune that's just like cookie cutter. But it's like, well, I post on Instagram and I post on Twitter all the time. I make music quick enough that I can literally shit it out. So if I feel like shitting it out and I'm telling you, hey, this isn't a classic song, I just had fun making it. Tell me it's shitty, but go hard to it at my show. You're going to love it. You'll be fine. Like, you don't have to complain and act like I have to make a legendary song every time. So I definitely agree with you where it's like, it's tough to like find that balance, but yeah, it goes both ways where like it, and even like I said, sometimes those shitty ones can be classic and legendary without you knowing it. So that's also a bonus of not, you know, I guess feeling terrible about releasing music, which it's a whole nother thing.
Not sure yet. There's songs that you think are about to be classics, right? Where you're like, this is the fucking one. Everyone's going to be all about.
And it's nothing.
And it's nothing. Everyone's just like, whatever. My biggest track, the one that everyone knows me for, is one that I put out because I needed to put a song. And I was like, oh, fuck, I need to put something out. It's been a minute. And I put it out, and then I had no idea it was going to be that. It wasn't even my favorite song, but it's the song. It's Wookworm. It's the one that everyone fucking knows me by. So it's just like, sometimes the people, like you said, sometimes your least favorite can be the biggest one, man. It's weird how it works like that.
Yeah, it's always, bro. So like, I don't know. I just make stuff, and I don't really say this is the one anymore. I'm just like, I love this song and I love those songs. Do they pass my test that they're dope? Yes. Okay. I'll let the people decide. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. That's what's up, dude. Dude, so before I get into these damn writing camps, you had a football analogy, right? Are you a football fan? You know, you live out there in Florida, so are you a Dolphins fan? You a Tampa Bay fan?
I'm not. I'm like a poser, bro. Like I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm from Pennsylvania, so I'm an Eagles fan. I was in Australia touring when they won the Super Bowl, and I was lit. It was so fun. I was like 9 a.m. like plastered in Australia, like, oh, I'm from Philadelphia, like going crazy. I'm not even really from Philly. That's what you have to say, whatever. And my girlfriend actually was a Dolphins cheerleader, so I actually own a Dolphins jersey with her name on it, and I have my Eagles jersey. So like that's really the only two teams I kind of support. But I love soccer the most. That's like the sport I watch. I love basketball. And then I'd say football is like my third. I'll watch it because it's entertaining, obviously. You know what I mean? But I'm not like, I couldn't tell you a single player on like any team right now, really, except for obviously like, you know, the Tom Brady's and the stuff like that. I'm not in it that far at all right now. I've just been out of the loop.
Hey there, y'all. Hope you're enjoying this episode right now. Don't go anywhere. It's coming right back. Just wanted to take a break from the show to introduce this new segment that we're doing here. And this is Redneck Stories with Jeremy.
All right, so I'm going to teach y'all how to hypnotize a chicken. Now, what you do with the chicken after it's hypnotized is your business and your business only, but we're going to get to it. All right, so you take the chicken, right, and you lay its head down on the ground like so. You hold its head like that, right, and then off the front of its beak, which would be about right there, you draw your line in the dirt that way, and that way, like a damn chicken's foot. And them motherfuckers won't move. They will stay right there. And unless you move that chicken, it'll be there till it dies. So.
And now, back to the show. Well, dude, man, so what the fuck is a writing camp?
So it always blows my mind. I gotta like, I don't know. I guess we'll have to like do some. I'll have to like document my own ones so I can like explain this to the EDM world. But I feel like a lot of people don't. So back to like kind of the ghost production and co-production. Why I finally feel better about all of these things is because I understand the inner workings of the biggest artists in the world are built off of writing camps. And what that means is you essentially just get all the best possible producers and writers you can find. Sometimes it's 3 to 4, or sometimes it's fucking 20. Like Kanye is known for having like, you know, he'll take 10 studio rooms and put randomest people. Like Diplo has a funny story. There was like a hotel, they rented out hotel rooms and put him in there, and he like made the shittiest beat and like said like, I don't know, it's like, I forget, he told me the story. It was just pretty funny how like he was at a Kanye camp like a while ago, and like that's the same thing that I'm going through, where I'll be in the room with like 2 or 3 writers, and then, you know, you swap. The next day you go in with a different writer, and then the next day you go in with a producer, and then once you've worked on those songs, you guys kind of build them up, and then basically whoever you're doing them for. So for one example, there was like a Major Lazer camp, and then obviously the records go to this point. I didn't even understand who it went to because there's so many people involved. It's over my head. But they kind of pick out what they think is best. And like, I hear like a little of my voice. Is there something on that I can turn down?
Oh, that's
It's
weird.
like a little double.
Really? It might just be my...
It's not that loud though.
Hold up. Now keep talking, because my headphones might have just been too close to my microphone.
Oh, yeah, that might be it. Yeah, perfect. So basically it goes past us, where like, say it's Major Lazer. Wes and Ape Drums and Walshy and the head A&Rs at the label all sit down and say, we need this song, this song, this song. Let's finish this one, and let's go write 3 more. And then they do it again. So that's just an example of like, for that, you know, they probably did, I don't know, 10 writing camps probably total to do that album, maybe more, maybe less. I wasn't a part of all of them. Obviously there's been way more, and there will be more of those types of things all times, but it's really cool to be a part of something like that because, I don't know, I'm learning, even watching so if you want to basically watch this without having to experience it, because not everybody has that opportunity, watch like a Kanye YouTube documentary, or watch who was I watching that also? I was trying to think of it. Billie Eilish isn't a good example because it's just her and her brother. But a lot of people really do this type of collaborative effort where it's almost just opening up your palette to, you know, if you're stuck on a song and you don't know if you want to add something, or you're going to take a risk and add something, but you are afraid because it's not going to sound good, that new person might do that. So it's basically the best version of it is getting songs that nobody would have created by themselves, that it's like a collaborative effort, like that had to have been magically made because of using 10 people. So the Beyonce records that everybody makes fun of, like, oh, it's her and 50 other people, like it is, but at the same time, like that might be why some of them are amazing. There's obviously people that do it with 1 to 2 people and they're amazing. I have no problem with that, but I feel like all electronic music producers are way more used to that. So that's why I suggest the other way around more and more. And I want to do it more and more because I did sit in my bedroom for years and do it by myself. I'm kind of over it. You know what I mean? Like I'm ready to be co-produced for and produced with and written with and for and all the above. So it's kind of like a next step for me to start when Corona's over, my own writing camps and stuff, and just start to, you know, same thing for a side piece or for my rock project. I'm gonna do things like that. But it's really all it is. Whoever is the person obviously gets the Airbnb or the hotels or whatever you're talking about, or books the trip, and you just invite. It's kind of an invitational thing. Hey, I think you're a dope producer. I think you're a dope writer. You're a dope singer. Let's all 10 of us go in a room for a week and, you know, make music for my project or for whoever's project.
Hell yeah, that shit's fucking dope. So yeah, are those sound camps, did y'all do them any like dope places or anything like that? Like they take, you know, Major Lazer camps, they take you some exotic places because they're all over the fucking place, man. Well, how was that experience like? And to follow that up as well, you know, I played in a lot of bands growing up, and sometimes being in a room with a bunch of fucking bandmates, eventually y'all motherfuckers are fighting or like just getting sick of each other.
Yeah.
Was there any of that with the sound camps, or what was that whole experience like?
Most of these writing camps I've been to are pretty civil. The coolest one I went to with Wes was one in Bali. And then the other Major Lazer one we did in Malibu. So it's like a nice, you know, California house. But then we also did one in Miami. So we did one in my hood, like really close to like where I went to an audio engineering school. And that was fun. And then I've done a bunch of random ones in LA, basically, usually, just because so many people are out there. So that's most of the time they're there. There's been obviously those few exceptions. And then the RV trip was one thing that I kind of treated as like my own getaway writing camp for myself, but you know, it wasn't a bunch of people. So I would travel to people and collaborate. So that was kind of similar. But yeah, when I was in bands too, bro, and like my thing wasn't even that I argued. I was so fed up that I was more angry. I feel like I put in more work and I wrote more music and I just did more everything.
Yeah.
That I would be frustrated. So I knew I was like, oh, DJing by yourself, say less. This is my, and that's exactly what happened. Like I knew if I had the opportunity to just be my own thing, I would be fine. And I just had to like kind of prove to myself. And now I feel like I'm back to, all right, let's make some real crazy music. And I want to collaborate with people. And that was kind of to lead to the RV trip question, is kind of what stemmed that. And
yeah,
it's basically a documentary too.
Yeah,
so.
I totally agree with the whole band thing. I felt I was pissed off at the same shit. But yeah, onto the RV thing. How many days were you in that RV? Where all did you go? What was your favorite place you went? Who were you collabing with, man? Because I was seeing pictures and videos while you were out there, and it looked like a good fucking time, dude.
Yeah, dude, it was so fun. So I went to a lot of states. Wow, I went through Florida, Panama City, and then across to like New Orleans and stuff. Then down the bottom, then to
That's
like
where I'm at.
Vegas, LA, back up to the mountains. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in New
You're in
Orleans.
Vegas?
New Orleans.
Oh, you're in New Orleans. Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, the craziest. That was so fun. So essentially I told myself like to get my creativity because quarantine, everybody had their little, we all became fat alcoholics, Call of Duty holics. Like all we did was just like play video games and eat pretty much the whole thing. So like
Yeah.
obviously all of us lost our creativity.
Yeah.
So that happened to me. And I enjoyed it though because I toured for so much, like so much time, like for 2 years straight pretty much. So I was in the first couple months like, this is great. I'm working out, hanging out. And then I just got into the slump where I was like, wow, I'm a fat piece of crap sitting here playing Call of Duty, not making music. So I was like, all right, I got to force myself to, my buddy has an RV. I'm going to rent it from him and his dad. And then he ended up actually coming with us and driving it because I didn't want to drive it. So it worked out perfectly. Brought 3 of my team that do my media. So Acre Media, like Jeremy's like my main videographer, and then Tyler and Shane are like also videographers and photographers. So I just brought the whole crew up and I was like, guys, I want to make a documentary about going through quarantine and how messed up my creativity got and how to get it back. And we're going to document going on a trip and meeting up with a bunch of people and enjoying ourselves, broing it out. And we broed it out. It was rough, dude. Like a lot of it was like, there's some hilarious scenes of us like, you can tell, when you can just see that someone smelled like shit, like you don't have to smell it. You could look at us and you're like, wow, these motherfuckers they've been at it. So like we had some little, our own parties and stuff and like, just like hung out, did that stuff, made a lot of music with people like stops along the way. So Patrick Reza in Texas, and then some TikTok kid Chase, and he's in LA. And then I actually met this skateboarder that went viral. His name's David, and he was in like Panama City. And then I ended up meeting Bucky Lassick, who's like an OG, like Tony Hawk Pro Skater character. So he's like a real OG. And in the middle of like you're closer, you're more East Coast, so like Florida and your area is like that's like deep South style.
Yep.
There's that, but California version in where Bucky Lassick lives. So it was like Hicks in a sense, or like the whatever the funny term is for that type of shit.
A little bit more white
version,
trash. Yep. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was like, there's white, like, but they were cool people. Like, it's obviously, I'm not trying to say
I'm a little white trash, dude. It's okay. Like I know it for a fact, bro. I'm white trash.
I'm white, so it's not. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But it was just funny that that existed. So that was a hilarious one. It was like a Tony Hawk Pro Skater level. He was a super dope guy. Like literally I never drink beer, and I fucking cracked some open with that dude. So it was fun.
Well, you don't drink beer? How are you getting fat playing video games, dude? I drink a lot of.
I love beer, but I would have been. I guess I didn't get fat, but I got like for me like thick. Just chunky. Yeah, I got thick. So my girl was loving it, but I was like, babe, I can't do this anymore. Like I'm not. I don't want to be a tubby bear anymore. Like this, freaking. I'm dieting right now for that shit. But yeah. So there was so many fun. Like New Orleans, there was like a few like bars and stuff had opened up. So we went, to a couple like random on this. What's the
Bourbon Street?
What's the main Bourbon Street? Yeah. So I went to like Bourbon Street, and it was actually like not like packed, obviously, because it was still like coronavirus. But,
still a good time though.
We bought these pink bitch shirts. I was like bitch 1, bitch 2. It was hilarious. Like all these random things. Dude. Oh, I'm not even from there, and you tell me I'm wrong. The best fried chicken there to me, Willie Mays.
I gotta try it because I'm not originally from here either, but I ain't tried it yet. Right. I gotta try it, but okay. Well, now I know, dude. I know where to go try next.
I'm not exaggerating, too. I'm telling you, every person I've taken there since my first show in New Orleans.
Wait, I think I have ate there. Is it? It's in the business district, close to Republic.
Sounds right.
Okay, maybe, dude. I'll eat it again if I can't remember. I'll try it for show.
It like melts in your mouth. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like a different style of crispy where like it crunches and then disappears like a cloud. You're like it doesn't make sense. But yeah. So that was really fun. We ate that good food, and then we went to like Moab, Utah, and we like drove these little dirt buggies around 4x4s and just went in. Vegas obviously was hilarious. Like it wasn't, obviously everything was kind of half open, so it was tough. Like this wasn't during like, I don't remember what the worst time of this was, but it's different now because we're kind of like in the back half of it. But this was, when stuff was pretty closed down, so we couldn't really do everything. But everybody still was like out there and doing stuff. So we just had to like wear our masks and do the normal stuff as much as possible to like try and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But Vegas was fun. We had like a 2-night binger there. We stayed in New Orleans 2 nights and Vegas 2 nights, bro. We just got lit. It was so fun.
So you're out there working, you're staying creative, but you're still on vacation, still out there having a good time.
Oh no, yeah, we went in.
Hell
I'm not gonna lie to anybody. We went in, and then we had those days off where it was hard. I thought it was gonna be way easier to work on music, but turned out like just being on an RV for that long, dude, is just not easy. So it's like pretty funny how much like work we did because it was just so hard to like on a moving RV. So I did make a lot of music, but it's just funny how difficult it was because we were all like, oh my God, I don't feel like working. Like we were just, so yeah, Moab, Utah was super fun. Vegas was dope. LA was cool just because there's so many people there. I ended up working with, a few people shooting. One of the themes is I would try and make a song and shoot a music video the same day. So I did that like 2 or 3 times. And that was a kind of a challenge, but we did one in these sand dunes in Denver. Actually, there's outside of Denver, there's these like very random, huge sand dunes. I don't know why, but there is, and we climbed them, almost died. And then like, they told me that it was what did I take? Oh, it was an edible, bro. And I don't smoke anything. So I got destroyed. It was so funny.
You gotta be careful with those edibles, dude.
I was like, guys, this is the one that just relaxes you. And they're like, yeah, there's no THC. It's the CBD one. And I was like, oh, okay, but are you sure? And they're like, yes, take it. And I ate the whole thing. And I was like dry mouth, just like spinning head. It was insane, bro. I was like, I hate you guys so much.
Dude, I had a 4-day thing because I recently just started smoking weed again for the first time in like 5 years. Okay. And I still only do it like once every 2 nights. Yeah. I just don't do it that much. And I still don't even know I'm back doing it. I'll do it like once every 2 nights now. And I've only been doing that for 2 weeks. But anyway, there was like this 4-day period. I played this show for Halloween, and then they had these CBD treats that they gave to all the artists. And I think they called them CBD treats just so they could be there, but they weren't CBD. And it took me 4 days of being high as fuck to me being like, this ain't CBD, y'all. I'm fucking high as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took me
took 4 days in a row.
4 days, dude. I just remember working in the studio, but like, man, this is some fucking strong CBD. The CBD kind of has me high. You know what I mean? Like,
that's exactly how I felt. I was like, am I crazy or am I destroyed right now? Like, it was so funny. It was me and Jeremy, the other videographer. He took one, and we both were not used to that at all. It was so funny. Dude, we thought we were going to die in the RV, like going down the mountains, the brakes like started heating up. And then we went through snow in the mountains. It was the scariest video, bro. It's literally like snow. You can't see shit. Like I was like, we're going to fall off the mountain and die. It's hilarious. The footage is so funny of us just all like huddled like this, like just about to die on this trip. So there's a lot of fun, crazy shit. Made a bunch of music. And another point of it for me was to go get all the footage so I could score it, because I've always had this dream to like score and put dramatic, cinematic type of music, and like I love doing that. So I was like, I don't have my own movie to do it for, so I guess I'll just have to make my own, and then I'll do it myself. So there's kind of like a cool balance of like, I'm scoring and doing all the music in it. So everything you hear is going to be something I created, and then I'm monologuing a little bit. We're doing interviews, and then there's obviously raw footage and raw audio. So it's kind of turning into a documentary style thing that I'm really excited to put that out. We're getting close to finishing it. It's been rough. It's just a lot of footage, but we finally got it all.
Yeah, y'all hitting up Netflix, dude.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, shit, I highly doubt that, but at least I'll put it on YouTube, so it'll be out there. It was just for fun. I don't even care. I just wanted to do it to do it.
Yeah, did you get your creativity back? I mean, and that was the whole goal. Did it work?
Yeah, dude. I mean, it definitely that'll be the thesis of the whole thing, and kind of we'll we'll do some exit interviews after I think we edit of like where I'm at now and stuff like that, and maybe just some extra footage to like show what happened afterwards, because I definitely. And then, with the Grammys and all that, it's just like we're gonna have to put extra footage of like it's crazy, all these things that happened during the pandemic that I can be blessed for. Dude, I want a car, all this crazy shit.
Is it
It's
that fucking
insane.
sick ass car that's been on your
Yeah.
oh wow, you won that?
Yeah, I want a Toyota Supra and 30 grand, bro.
How?
Just Instagram, bro. I entered it. That was another one. So this one is not, I don't believe that this one was like some like, I didn't dream about this a million times, but I know that my intuition and my manifestation is really powerful now, because I told my girlfriend I was going to win, and my videographer.
Was it Instagram contest? Just an Instagram contest? What'd you have to do? Just fucking hit a link?
I bought like their merch. I spent like $100 the first day, and then 2 days before it ended, there was like this extra like, oh, buy now and you'll do 10%. And I was like, shit, I feel like I'm gonna win. And I dropped $300 on their merch. It was actually all pretty dope stuff. So I was like, whatever. Worst case scenario, I have a bunch of cool ADM tuner stuff because I love cars. So whatever. It was like whatever. I was buying it, and I told my girlfriend, I was like, babe, I don't know why I have this weird feeling I'm gonna win. She's like, all right. She's like, okay, all right. Told Jeremy, I was like, dude, I think I entered this car contest. I think I'm gonna win it. Told them both. I told myself in my car, I was like, I'm gonna win that car. And then I literally got a phone call on the airplane when I was doing a driving show. So I landed in Chicago, and I literally got the call from the sweepstakes. And they're like, hi, is this Rich? And I saw the voicemail, and I was like, oh my God, I missed a call from a sweeps. Hi, Richard, got some good news. And I called immediately. I was like, I started smacking Jeremy. He's like across there's like a guy in the middle. I'm like hitting the guy to get to Jeremy. I'm like, I started hitting him like, dude, I just want a fucking car. He's like, dude, relax. What are you talking? I freaked out. It was like a funny moment that I was like, dude, I don't know how I knew it. And then on the RV trip, there's this really cool, we're saving this part, but it's whatever. We're on the podcast, all good. The Grammys. So Wookie is a part, since he got nominated for a remix of the year, he's a part of the Grammys. So once you get nominated, you can vote and become the part of the Grammy voting. And he told me On My Mind was on it for the voting. And I was like, oh my God, it's in there. He's like, yeah, I voted for it. I think he has a good chance. And I was like, bro, I was like, I don't know. Something's telling me this shit's going to get nominated. Like, this has to happen. It has to happen. Like, and then it got nominated, and there's like, that was on the trip that happened. So there's a lot of crazy stuff that getting out on that trip was just pretty legendary for me. So I'm glad I did it.
That whole story was fucking legendary, dude. You're a fucking legend. You know what I'm saying? I aspire to be like you, dude. Listen, we've been going for longer than an hour, but I still have some things I want to talk to you about. So I really appreciate you.
We can cut down. Go ahead.
Yeah, I really appreciate you hanging out and talking to me about it. So what was it like winning a Grammy, man?
So, I mean, the first one, so this one is, obviously we don't know if we won this one yet, but the last one was for a Latin song. I didn't get anything because I produced one song with Diplo on an album that won.
Gosh.
So the album won best album for Latin, best urban album. But I don't get anything because they don't give a Grammy to all 50 people that work on the album. They give it to the main executive producer and, the artists and a couple other people, managers maybe. I don't even think of managers. You literally only get they only give a couple of trophies. So I don't have any proof really for that one, but it's just a cool thing to say, oh, I was a part of a Grammy nominated album. And so I kind of always had this thing where I was like, I really want my own trophy. Like, I want my own Grammy. I'm going to buy a glass thing and put it in there. So when we got nominated, I was in Dominican Republic with my girlfriend and her family. We just took like a little mini vacation in Dominican Republic, and I had to watch the live stream of it was Dua Lipa. I think I have the video somewhere, but it's Dua Lipa announcing and the nominees for best dance recording, and then I was literally videoing it. And I think I posted on Twitter actually, so it's just me taking a video of it. Just getting nominated is I was like, wow. And this one is really me, my name, side piece is on it. You know what I mean? That's my project. So it's it feels really satisfying to have a song that, I remember every step of it. I remember making the beat. I remember when Wes put the vocal on there. I remember when me and Dylan decided to make it side piece. And then when we released just the infantile baby steps to get there is just it's very gratifying for sure.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, that's some. I want to win a Grammy, dude. I'm gonna win a Grammy one day. Manifest that shit. I'm gonna win a Grammy. Yeah,
Let's go.
I'm saying it right here on the podcast to you. I'm gonna win a
Ain't
Grammy.
a joke, bro. It ain't a joke.
It ain't a joke, dude. I mean it, dude. You think I'm scared?
Yeah,
You think I'm scared, bro?
that's the one.
Dude.
go.
One more thing.
There's a comedy.
Wait,
There's
say that
a
again?
comedy section. There's a comedy section in the Grammys, bro. You can win a Grammy for comedy, stand up, and comedy music. Swear to God, I'm not making that up.
Oh, I'm gonna win it for
research
that
it tonight.
I'm gonna win it for comedy music. That's for damn sure, dude. I'm telling you, this album is fucking great. But I'm gonna look into that because I had no idea about that. One more thing I wanted to ask you, man. Like I said, I really appreciate your time. You mentioned you met up with like this TikTok guy. You have been making these like dope ass TikTok videos of you just making beats like with these cool places and stuff like that. Doing things like that, because TikTok is just its fucking own thing. It's like, Instagram is integrated with Facebook, you know what I'm saying? And they're kind of like, they kind of go hand in hand, and like there's things like YouTube where it's like its own crowd. With TikTok, it's like its own crowd, totally different crowds on all of them. How much did doing all these videos help you with your growth, if there was any, or is it just something where it's just like, yeah, that's dope, people fuck with it, but it doesn't really do nothing for your career? Did it help your career? Did it help you growth? Like, what all did all that shit do for you?
It's funny because my TikTok like sucks now. Like I got like flagged. Like I think I had my shirt off in one of them because I was like joking around and it like flagged it. So like my plays now, it's funny. Like I'm like a has been on TikTok, right? Like I had those couple first ones. I was like one of the first. Like I wouldn't say I was the first in the world, but I was willing to put money. I was the first like DJ, because I remember everybody texting me when I put those up. Like everybody was like, oh, like I'm telling you, before anybody had TikTok, I literally made those and they went viral. And I was like the TikTok DJ pretty much. So it was like a really funny thing. And I was like obsessed with it. I went in and it was like such a different crowd. So not many of my TikTok fans turned into real fans. It was just my real fans found out about TikTok, and my TikTok was a bunch of little kids and random people that thought I made dinky beats. So when they found my real music, they were like, we want to hear the Walgreens song. You know what I mean? So it did, as much as I want to say it transferred over, I think it was just something fun. I enjoyed it. It for sure. I'm sure there's some type of carryover. I don't have any numbers for you. Like, oh, I got 1,000 fans or 100,000 fans, but it was just a fun thing I enjoyed. And like, it's tough right now because my shit's like, it doesn't do anything. I post and it's just like, nothing. So like I gotta just be super consistent with it, or like I feel like I've contacted people before, but it's just, I don't know, not in a bad way towards TikTok, because I enjoy it, but I came back to the realization. I was like, I want to be known as a great musician, not an influencer. That's not my goal. I don't want to be the guy where I don't even want people to remember me as a TikTok DJ. So I was low key like, whatever, I did it for a second. Nobody's going to be like worried about it. So not that I have anything against influencing or people that make content like that, because I did it. Trust me, I'm shameless, bro. I'll literally do anything. But
me too, bro. I'll do anything, especially if I'm drunk.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, exactly. We just have a couple beers, PBRs, and we're in this fish.
Goddamn, dude, you got the right idea, my dude. You got the right idea.
We'll have to drink some PBRs when we finally hang out in person then.
Hell yeah, dude. That sounds like a good ass time. I'm all about it.
Oh yeah.
Well, look, man, I really appreciate you coming on the show. I've wanted to have you on for a minute. Been a big fan. Respect the fuck out of you and everything you do, man. So it really means a lot. You coming on the show, having this conversation. It was a great conversation. I had a lot of fun with it, man. And I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, man. Same to you. Great talk, man.
That was Mr. Nitti Gritti, everybody. He's the fucking man. I told y'all. He is the fucking man. Glad I could get him on the show, man. I've been wanting to have him on for a minute. Glad we could do it, dude. Hope everyone stays good out there. I'm going to try to stay good. Hopefully this COVID don't kick my ass. But if it takes me, all right, I might have had it coming. I've made way too many COVID jokes. I've talked a lot of shit. Just joking, not meaning anything. You shouldn't take anything I say to heart. But if it takes me, just know, Smack That by Akon is going to be played at my funeral, or it's going to be magical, because everyone's going to be like really sad, and And then it's going to play. Half the people are going to be like, yeah, that's just Mitch. And then the other half are going to be crying like, why? Why is this playing? And then I'll just be laughing in heaven. I don't know. I love y'all, man. Y'all be good. Take care of each other. Or don't. Do what you want. I don't give a shit. Actually, I care. I do care. But you shouldn't let me tell you what to do. You should just have a good day and a good week because you want to do that. And if you don't, fuck it, skank. Fuck it, skank. I don't know. I'm out of here. I'm going to go lay in bed. Love y'all. Bye.